Okay, so here's a big question for you. Can just 10 minutes a day really give you a sharper, more defined jawline? I mean, that's the promise, right? This routine from the Masumi channel has gotten a ton of attention, and today we're going to break down every single move to see what it's really all about. I mean, that's a pretty bold claim, right? But the idea behind it is actually super simple. Short, daily, consistent effort. That's supposed to lead to visible change. But okay, what does that effort actually look like? Let's get into the nitty-gritty of the routine.
This is how the creator kicks things off, with this direct invitation. And I think it's pretty smart, because it frames this whole thing not just as some boring exercise, but as something we're all doing together. It just sets a really positive motivational tone right from the get-go.
So what's the end game? Well, it's all about getting that beautiful jawline. But here's the really interesting part. You don't get there just by working on your jaw. Nope. This routine actually targets all those interconnected muscles in your face, your neck, and, believe it or not, even your shoulders. And just like any good workout, you gotta start with a warm-up. The whole point here is to get the blood flowing and gently wake up all those muscles in our neck and head. The ones we usually forget about, to get them ready for what's next. So the first move is super simple. It's just a side-to-side head tilt. The key here, though, is to go slow. You really want to feel that gentle stretch all along the side of your neck, just kind of releasing any tension you've got built up. And boom, we switch right over to the other side. We're keeping that momentum going. All right, now we're going to layer something on top of that movement. As you turn your head, you pucker your lips, like you're giving a kiss. It sounds a little silly, but this one simple thing is meant to fire up all those smaller muscles right around your mouth and at the front of your jaw. And listen up, because this is a really crucial tip from the creator. For any of this to work, you have to isolate the muscles. So that means keeping your upper body totally still. If you do that, you're making sure all the work is being done right where it's supposed to be, in your neck muscles. Okay, warm-up complete. Now we get into the real meat of the routine, the main moves that are designed to hit the jaw and facial muscles directly. So this next move builds right on top of the last one. You're going to tilt your head, but this time it's diagonally backward, and you're still doing that same kissing motion. That specific angle is the secret sauce here. It's what really lets you target the area right under your chin and all along the jawline. Okay, next up, we're moving into a sequence that's a little more complex. Okay, so this one's a combo move. It's got 3 parts. First, you smile, and that's to get your cheek muscles working. Then you place your hands on your shoulders to keep your posture nice and stable. And finally, you do these upward and forward tilts to work the muscles at the very front of your neck. With this one, the whole idea is to work your full range of motion. So you'll tilt your head all the way up and then turn side to side. Then you do the whole thing again, but with your head tilted all the way down. This just makes sure you're stretching and strengthening your neck from literally every single angle. And this brings us to what might be the secret ingredient of this whole routine: posture. Yeah, the final phase shifts the focus entirely to the shoulders. This really drives home the idea that your overall upper body alignment is totally connected to how your neck and jaw look. So the first posture move is just a simple elbow rotation. You're making big, backward circles, one arm at a time. The whole focus here is on opening up your chest and getting rid of any tightness you have in your shoulder joint. And now, for the very last move. To finish everything off, we've got 2 last posture correctors. First, you squeeze your elbows inward to really fire up the muscles between your shoulder blades. Then, you do a big backward rotation with both arms at the same time. This really helps to set your shoulders back and promote that open, aligned posture. So, you've done all the exercises. Awesome. But now for maybe the most important part. What does it actually take to see results? Let's dive into what the creator says about commitment. First things first, a little celebration. And honestly, this kind of positive reinforcement is such a smart move. It's like a little psychological reward for your effort, which helps build the habit and makes it way more likely you'll show up again tomorrow. Okay, this is the big one, isn't it? We've learned what to do, but now we need to know, how often do we have to do it? What's the recommended frequency for this whole 10-minute thing? And the answer could not be more clear. Every single day. Yeah, for this routine to work, the creator says it has to be a daily habit. Consistency is basically framed as non-negotiable. So, if you stick with it, when can you actually expect to see the payoff? Well, the creator sets a pretty clear timeline. They suggest that if you're consistent every day, you might start to see some changes in about 2 weeks to a month.
And here's the last bit of advice, and it's all about building momentum. The idea is that seeing those first few small changes, well, that's not the finish line. That's the fuel that should make you want to keep going for even bigger results.
And all of that leaves us with one final thought. We've just walked through a whole routine of tilts and turns and even some kisses. But if you look past the specific moves, the real argument here is that these small, consistent daily actions are what truly drives physical change. So the real question for you is a sharper jawline worth 10 minutes of your day every single day?